kid, it's the kid, it's the kid. We're here, we're here, we're live, we're here, we're live, we're live, we're here, we're live, and we're on time. And we're on time. I told you, man, things are changed. We're on time, man. So over the next hour or so, we shall be going through some interesting, beautiful things. Just to give you a little highlights of what we should be talking about. We're going to talk about Isco. Isco, can he work at Chelsea? Should he go to Man City? He's going to remain at Real Madrid. And looking at the Isco, the man, looking at Xavi, how he rejected an offer from Barcelona. So he was offered the Barcelona job, and why did he reject the job? And should Xavi have taken the job, or was it the right decision in him rejecting Barca? Talking about Hazard, who said he actually put on his weight, Hazard's weight, and Hazard, and just with regards to his whole Real Madrid thing. And look, man, we're going to have an open conversation about weight loss and about weight gain with regards to that. And as well, talking about Timo Werner, it was rumored to go to Real Madrid. We thought he was going to go to Liverpool. Where will Timo Werner go? Can Leipzig keep him? No, they can't. Where should he go? Where will he go? Also about Olivier Giroud as well, talking about how he's going to Inter Milan. Why should he go to Inter Milan? And is the Inter Milan job the right move for him? Then Fernandes, I already put a video about this. Is this the guy to help Uncle Mo? Should Uncle Mo have gone for someone else? How much will a guy like Getson Fernandes actually help your boy Uncle Mo to try and win the CL or win an FA Cup for Tottenham this season? And then we may round off with, talking about Tammy against Rashford. So the football battle is up there. Tammy against Rashford. It's up there for all of you to view. If you haven't viewed it, you can view it after this live stream. And that's all good. So remember, congrats. Hello to everyone out there. And remember, you can always become a Football Hut member and gain access to extra content. After this live stream is done, I will be putting some early looks for the Football Hut members up in there. And just watch out for that content that is always constantly updating. Because remember, guys, you get early looks at stuff. You can get special emojis that guys can be using. You get a little icon next to your name to show that you're, of course, a Football Hut member. And just, extra little exclusive videos just, to show that you are, of course, a loving, appreciated member of your boys' Football Hut crowd. So without further ado, guys, let's get this show going, man. Let's get this show going. And I think the best way to get this show going is that we have to get the intro. Let's get that intro in, man. Let's get that intro in, man. So that's right. Cool. We have to write the intro. We always have to write the intro. Double H, double H, double H. All right, so let's start with our first topic. So, would Isco work at Chelsea? Now, the rumors around there, or the story out there was that Chelsea looking to try and get Isco. Now, I'm worried because let's see. Today is, what's today's date? Today is the 16th of January. Today is the 16th of January. Bad Boys for Life comes out tomorrow, by the way. I can't wait. I cannot wait. Bad Boys for Life comes out tomorrow. It's the 16th of January, and I am worried because where are the big signings? Where are the big signings? I need those big signings. I need those massive signings, and we are still awaiting. So Lampard obviously has his eyes on Isco. And my thing here is that Isco is a quality player. And if it's between Isco and Mason Mount Kilimanjaro, I think I know who I'll be getting. But you have to understand this thing here. Now Isco is too big for Chelsea. What's that supposed to mean? What the hell is that supposed to mean? How is Isco too big for Chelsea when the guy can hardly get a game for Real Madrid? So, bro, the guy needs games because the Euros are happening this summer. So, beggars can't be choosers. My thing here is that, Isco is slow. When I say Isco is slow, that is not to discredit him. That's not an insult towards him. That is just his that's just his style of play. It's mainly just his style of play, and his style of play doesn't lend itself to quick, frenetic football. So if you're going to put Isco in for Chelsea, it just not it's barely will not fit. It's like whenever you're buying players and you're trying to get players into a team, what is most important is chemistry. Chemistry is the most important thing. If you don't have good chemistry, your team can't function. Your team can't function. Now, it's like the notion of, my God, man, Tammy Abraham, Isco behind, you got Willian, you got Pulisic in there, and Isco is creating for Tammy Abraham and everything, and he's going to bring in his creativity, his technical ability, and Isco can be the playmaker, the pointsman, and everything goes through. On paper, it sounds great. On paper, it sounds superb and great. But in actual practice, anybody that knows how football works and how teams work, it's just not going to work. Because anytime, like when you look at how Chelsea play, they play fast, they play quick. And Lampard obviously wants his team to play quickly. Isco can't play quickly. He just can't. And even Madrid fans have sometimes been frustrated. Thank you. As my mod Sergio is even saying right there, like they get frustrated with the fact of the matter is that when Real Madrid wants to go on a quick counter, Isco will get the ball and just go backwards and sideways because that's just how he plays. That's just how he plays. So if you put him in that system, that means Chelsea counterattacks are going to break down. That means they're not going to have any fast breakaways. And when a Willian or a Pulisic want the ball played quickly, they're not going to get the ball played quickly, and you're just going to get lots of frustration from the players around Isco. See, Isco is perfect for Man City. You see, Isco actually doesn't work with Zidane. That's the thing. He doesn't work with Zidane with the way that Zidane wants to play and so forth. That's why if everybody is fit, Isco isn't in the Real Madrid team. He isn't. If everyone is fit, I think Zidane will prefer James over Isco as far as the cam role, So that's just the thing. So, but see, Isco at Barcelona would be perfect. That would be perfect. Isco with Messi would be amazing. That would be amazing. Like, see, that is the kind of player that Messi would want. Isco at Man City would be perfect. Isco is a Pep Guardiola player. He's a Pep Guardiola player, and hence why Isco is the most sensible, logical, long-term replacement for a David Silva. So you say that Isco is not leaving Real Madrid. Now you say Isco isn't leaving Real Madrid. How do you know that as a fact? No. So do you know that as a fact that he's not leaving Real Madrid? That's just what I want to know. If you know that as a fact, then that's cool. But how do you know for sure he's not leaving Real Madrid? Says who? According to whom? Why? So that's the thing. So I mean, like, what I think will happen. You see, always two things. What I think will happen, what should happen, how would I advise Isco? I see Isco staying at Real Madrid. I don't think he's really that bothered about, oh my gosh, I need to play first in football. I think he's like, look, this is Real Madrid. I like my team. I say, if I play, I play. If I don't play, I play. I don't. He's not that bothered. Now, if I was advising Isco, I would say take a long look at Man City. Take a really long look at Man City because I think Man City could really work out for you. I think Man City could really work out for you. So I think if he was to take a look at Man City, I think that would work out big time. I really think that would work out for him, man. So that's the thing there. So I don't know what you guys in live chats are saying. I mean, should Isco stay at Real Madrid? Would he work at Chelsea? Would he work at Man City or so forth? I mean, what are you guys saying? Because for me, like, don't fall into the trap of, for Chelsea fans, don't be like, oh, it's an amazing player. Let's get him. No. You have to get players that fit. That is the most important thing that any manager should do. You have to get players that fit. Not every quality player will fit into your team. This is just fact. So every quality player will fit into your team. You have to get the players that coincide with the kind of football and the system that you want to play. So if you play a fast system, you have to have players who play fast and think quick. You have to. Let's say, Man City would be like, you see, the thing with this is that I don't know how long Pep's staying at Man City for. I don't know whether Pep actually has a long-term goal with regards to his work at Man City. So I don't know how long he's going to be being there for. But if Pep is like, okay, no, I want to be here for at least 2-3 more years, their number one priority should be Isco in the summer. That should be their number one priority. Is that, you know what, we have to go out and get Isco in the summer. That should be like, priority A1, priority number one. So yeah, that is how we flow there. So next topic, Xavi. So he was offered the role. Xavi was offered the role to be the manager of Barcelona, but he rejected it. And he said that he wasn't ready. He said that he wasn't ready for the role, that that this was not the right time for him to coach Barcelona. And that was very important. Because let me be real with you, do you know that would have been a very hard decision for Xavi to make? Do you know how hard that would have been? It would be a dream. Well, like, my gosh, this is my chance to coach Barcelona. And remember, guys, Xavi may never get this chance ever again. It's not as if it is written in stone that, we will go to you. What if Barcelona gets Nagelsmann and this guy is amazing for 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years, or so forth, and then they get some other dude? So this may be a case of where, bro, if you don't take this now, you may never have it. But it is better that he did that now, because imagine if he took the role, because 100%, this is what I said. If he had taken the role, he would have failed. Because this is just the wrong time to take it. Because again, when Pep took over Barcelona, you had a golden generation on your hands. You had a golden generation. Because remember, when you took over those guys, they had just won the Euros. Remember? So he took over in the 08-09 season. 2008, they won the Euros. So already it was a feeling that, remember, when they won the Euros, that was Spain's first ever international win. So already there was a thinking that, no, maybe this could be a special generation. But obviously Pep had to really execute them and really help them. But already there was that feeling that, this could be a special generation. So Xavi, you're coming in where you're not there as a player. Iniesta's not there as a player. Busquets is finished. Piqué is finished. All that exists is Messi. So it is not in the right state. And even more so, even whenever Xavi takes over, you'll never have a Messi. And that's another thing where he misses out on, because by him not taking the job now, it is pretty much guaranteed that he will never get a chance to coach Messi. Unless Setting is a complete failure. And then they're like, Xavi, do you want the job? But let's say Setting is a complete failure. I think Xavi needs more experience in Europe. In Europe. Coming and coaching from Qatar or Al Sadd and coming to coach in Europe ain't experience, bro. That is not experience. You need better experience than that. So it was a right move for Xavi, because again, it's like, for Barca fans, it was like, oh my gosh, it's Xavi. Look at how good he was for us. He understands. He was the system and everything. All because the guy was amazing as a player doesn't mean he can be amazing as a coach. And even more so, Pep Guardiola was not the greatest player. He was good. Guardiola was good, because I remember when he played, he was good. When he actually had hair, he was good. Pep Guardiola wasn't the best player. And when you look at it, most of the times, amazing players don't make amazing coaches. Look at Henry. Look at Maradona. Look at Marco van Basten. All superb, amazing players. They didn't really make that good coaches. what is it say? Xavi getting booed in Qatar, but still turned the job around, man. Crazy. Yeah, but it's Qatar, man. Xavi is not an idiot. You don't board a sinking ship. There we go. There we go. Like, yeah, Xavi don't have the balls. End of story. It's not about having the balls, though. It's like you have to choose the time in which to take over a club. If Xavi was to take over right now, all you have really is Messi. You have Suarez who is injured. You have an aging midfield that's maybe slightly unbalanced. You have a defense that is very sketchy. Umtiti is injury prone. Longley is average. PK is over the hill. Alba may give you 1 or 2 games here and there. So and this is why I'm worried about certain, like, that Barcelona team still needs a lot of coaching. A lot of coaching. And people forget that Valverde was a very good manager. He was a really good manager that did a lot of stuff to hold the squad in, because you have to, Barca fans are missing this. Everything, Valverde. It's the end of a generation. It's the end of a dynasty. It's the end. It's the end. Like, Busquets was extremely important to that midfield, and he's finished. Iniesta and Xavi were extremely important, but he's finished. So that's the thing. So it's like, will Xavi ever be the manager of Barcelona? I believe he will. I believe he will. I believe he's destined to be. But my thing is that, let's say he's the manager in 5 or 6 years' time, we may be looking at a very different landscape with regards to what the footballing world looks like. Because I'll tell you right now, man. I mean, because this is a discussion for maybe another time. What will Barcelona look like post Messi? What will Barcelona look like post Messi? Xavi also said that he doesn't like the current Barca board as to why he refused. Yeah, that's another big thing, because again, that is one of the big reasons why Pep Guardiola left. Because I think Pep would have remained at Barcelona if he got on with the board. Because I think, I've forgotten the names. So, yeah, because there was one, I can't remember the names of the board members, but there was one, but the dude that brought Pep in initially, he was really close to. Then when they then changed to the other dude, he really did not get along with that dude. So that's the thing. So I think, yeah. Because whenever Xavi takes over, you're not gonna have Messi, who was, as I said again, he's a generational talent, a multi-generational talent, man. But that is something that's people have to really look at, as what is a Barcelona going to look like post Messi, man. All right, so next topic right now. Hazard's weight. So he admitted it. Surprise, surprise, he put on weight. Now, why he did so, I have no idea. So Hazard has come out, I don't know whether this was an interview or so forth. So remember, guys, like the vid, like that vid. We're almost approaching. We'll have about 90 dudes in here. Like the vid. It doesn't take any time. It's all it takes a short piece of time. Just like that vid. Hit that like button. Support your boy. Hit that like button. So Hazard's weight. So Zad came out and he said that he put on the weight. Like, he fully said that yes. I put on weight. I think it was, let me see how much it is. Let me see. I think it was 20 kg or something. So let me just see. Eden Hazard. And look, it is good that he came out and he admitted it. But everyone knew this. Everyone knew this, Everyone knew this. But it is important that it came from him initially. Okay. Oh, this thing is so slow. So Eden Hazard reveals he put on nearly a stone in weight before Real Madrid transfer, and says Zidane told him he was wanted in 2016. And he lost all in 10 days. I gained 5 kilos in the summer. I'm one of those who gain weight quickly and lose it fast if I pay attention. It is true. No habits. When I'm on vacation, I'm on vacation. So look, the guy was on vacation and everything, So But let me just say this. Hazard did not need a lot of persuading to join Real, especially after speaking to his idol Zidane in 2016. I didn't talk much with him. The first time was in the 2016 Euros in France. He called me. He said, it would be good if he came. When Zidane calls you, it's serious. So, yeah, so two things there. So, as first of all, look, he put on the weight, but and look, it's fair. If you're on holiday, you can do whatever the hell you want. You're on holiday. But the only strange thing was that he showed up with all that weight. That's just the odd things. Like, okay, yeah, I know that, but you can't show up with all that weight. That's just odd. That's just odd. But the key thing, though, that is interesting was how long that he was wanted by Zidane. And even more so, even coincided with the whole weight thing, was how, and this just shows you Zidane's man management, because a lot of players, or lots of, like if there was Mourinho would have made something about it. And I think a lot of managers would have said, you can't show up. No, you can't even show up to pre-season looking like this. Like, I can't put you on a pitch looking like this. No way. But I think because Zidane likes to be very close and have a close relationship with his players, it never really bothered him. Because I remember even looking at it in preseason and everything, I was saying to myself that, say, hey, isn't Zidane like, yo, bro, what the hell are you doing? Bro, what? But I just think for Zidane is that, look, man, he has a close relationship with his players, and I think that he always knew that Hazard would lose his weight, and it never really bothered him. And that is why it is so interesting, and I'm hoping to hopefully see Zad come back as soon as possible, because again, it's how or whether Zidane can really get the best of Zad in this Real Madrid team. Because again, you can criticize Zidane for lack of tactics, substitutions, this and that, but one thing you cannot deny is that he has a magical touch. And that magical touch comes from how many people idolize him. As Hazard said, this is one of his idols, and this is one of the greatest players of all time. So from that point of view, you can definitely see through this. And look, man, people will continue to throw their hate on Zad. I get it. And I understand. But I think the most important thing is what you do on the pitch. So we can talk as much as we want and have all of these things of like his crap, his this, is that. The beauty of football is it's just there. It's evidence. So if you perform, you perform. If you flop, you flop. It's like football is very simple. X's and O's. 1 + 1 = 2. So just have to just wait and see to see what happens. Because I'll say this again. I pray he is fit for that Champions League game. Obviously, I want to see him throughout the La Liga season because it's just amazing seeing amazing players. But I just pray that he's fit for that thinking game, man. But yeah, look, man, as I said again, don't fat shame. Don't fat shame. Why? Why are we fat shaming? So Tottenham now Getson Fernandez. Let me just repeat what I said when Uncle Mo was hired. So because I always have to keep on reminding people. I have to keep on reminding people about this stuff because people can be a bit sketchy. Uncle Mo and Tottenham was a bad fit. That was a bad fit. 100%. It was always a bad fit. You see, look at the garbage that people write in here. Zidane is trash. Christina created him. Simple as that. You see the trash that people come up with. So, Getson Fernandez. He looks decent. He looks all right. Is this the marquee player or the marquee players that Uncle Mo was promised when he joined the club? Because for Tottenham to succeed, for Uncle Mo to succeed with Tottenham, they need names. They need names. Now, I'm sure Getson Fernandez is a decent player, and I've seen some footage of him. I've never heard of him. He's not a name. He's unknown. He's not known. I don't know how he's going to help Tottenham win a trophy, and that is the key thing. Tottenham needs to buy players that will help them win a trophy. See, Getson Fernandez is a good squad addition. He's a good squad addition. Now, the Ndombele was brought in the sense of like, this is a guy that can really, in a major way, potentially help Tottenham do something. But with this, so even when Tottenham even announced the signing, I'm like, okay, all right, you need a midfielder. You need a midfielder. He's Portuguese, so obviously, there'll be no language barrier between him and Uncle Mo. But is it something to get excited about? Is it something to get excited about? Because I said that, look, for Uncle Mo, like, what they need is a creative midfielder. That's what they really need. They need that and Gareth Bale. Now, I don't know how much money Daniel Levy has. I don't know how much money they're willing to spend. I don't know how much Real Madrid wants for Bale. But if I'm advising Tottenham, do everything in your power to bring back Gareth Bale. Because I'll say this right now. If Gareth Bale was to come to Tottenham, that would change things, man. Ndombele looks quality, but it's currently the Mendy of midfielders. Damn. Wow. Tottenham went like 2 years with barely signing a player, empty squad. Well, you have to ask your boy Daniel Levy. Daniel Levy is one of the tightest guys to get any cash out of him, But it's like, so as this question says, how much will Fernandes help Uncle Mo? I don't know whether he'll help him I don't know whether he'll help him in a major way. Now, he may surprise everybody, and it's one of those things of where he may not be a big name, but he may come in and just do amazing stuff. Like Wanyama is not really a big name, was not really a known name, but he has come in, and I think Tottenham have badly missed the influence of Wanyama, because that's a player that every time I saw him play, I'm like, oh no, this guy's pretty good. This guy is pretty good. So he's always been a guy that has always been pretty impressive. So for Tottenham, man, Getson Fernandes isn't going to be a difference maker. He just isn't, He is like because you can look at a guy for about a minute or something, like, oh no, that guy is quality. That guy can do some serious things. And even after a minute or a few minutes or so, I'm like, okay, all right. It is what it is. It is what it is. So it's not something that really excites me or really like says, oh, what's up? So, boom. What else do we have here? So now Timo Werner. You see, so when I put out that news thing, people said, oh, don't listen to Marca, like Marca are basically a bunch of bricks and they can't be trusted. But I still put out that whole thing because I like to, even if it's a rumor, it's still a great talking point of, oh wow, what would Timo Werner do for Real Madrid? Is Timo Werner a good signing for Real Madrid? So my thing about this is that, look, Timo Werner is definitely one of the most exciting strikers out there. One of the exciting strikers out there. And he was linked heavily to Liverpool to begin with. And I always said that, Liverpool don't need Timo Werner. They don't need Timo Werner based on the system and how they are playing. Because scoring goals is not an issue that Tottenham have. That's not an issue that Tottenham have. But again, a quality player is a quality player. Like every great team keeps on adding. Every great team doesn't just stand still. You have to keep on adding. But in Real Madrid's case, it's looking into the future. Because Benzema ain't going to be there all the time, man. But one thing we have to accept is Timo Werner. Leipzig can't keep Timo Werner. Like, this is modern football right now. Now, in a perfect world, in a wonderful world, Monaco would have kept Mendy, Bernardo Silva, Fabinho, Mbappe, and so forth. And who knows what they could have done. In a perfect world, Dortmund would have kept Lewandowski, Mario Götze, Hummels, Gundogan, Kagawa, and so forth. But we don't live in a perfect world. And I think Leipzig just don't have the pull to keep a Leipzig. Leipzig don't have the pull to keep a Timo Werner. And if you're the board and a club's going to offer you 120, 150 million, you can't reject that. You simply cannot reject that. But even more so, what's even worse is he's got a flipping release clause. He's got a flipping release clause. And I think his release clause is like 50, 60, 70 mil. So I see a lot of guys in the chat are saying he's better suited for Liverpool. He's better in the EPL Premier League. So let's look at this right now. Liverpool and Real Madrid. You see, I could definitely see Timo Werner. No, Timo Werner would work well in the Premier League because I think he's fast, he's quick, he's very sharp, and he's got a great movement, and is a very good finisher. So he would be able to cope very well with the speed and the pace of the Premier League. But he could still work in La Liga as well, specifically in Real Madrid's team. And when you look at how Real Madrid play, and how they like to move the ball around, and how spacious they are, and how attacking they are, Timo Werner could very much work within that team as well. But you have to now think about it. If you had the front three of Timo Werner, Sadio Mane, and Salah, would that actually work? Because why it works with Firmino is Firmino brings in Mane and Salah. That's what he does. But in Real Madrid, for Real Madrid, they play for the striker. That's what they do. And specifically for a Hazard, you see, Eden Hazard is there to provide. He's not a goal scorer, he's there to provide. So if you're having a front three of a Hazard, a Timo Werner, and let's just throw in either an Mbappe or whatsoever, or an Asensio, Hazard is there to provide for either an Asensio, Mbappe, or a Timo Werner. But if you're going into Liverpool right now, Sadio Mane and Salah are goal scorers. They're attacking goal scorers. They're really, in a sense, the strikers of the team. So, but Timo Werner is not a provider. He's not a creator. Firmino is a creator. He's a creative striker. So that is why it would make more sense and it will be more beneficial for Timo Werner to move to a Real Madrid. That would make more sense for him. But then, but look, it's big, man. It's big. So you say Mane, Firmino, Werner, and Salah can all play together in a 4-3-2-1. 4-2-3-1. Well, that's again, that's a risk. Because that's all cool, but will it work? If what you have on paper doesn't mean that it's going to actually be able to happen if you're able to execute it. Because I think what level have now, it works. It works. And it has worked for the past 2-3 years now. And as the saying goes, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So that's one thing. But remember, for Real Madrid, they need a replacement for a striker. And remember, Mbappe is still on the horizon. And I think what Perez may be trying to do and what he may be trying to concoct is, can I have a scenario where I have Where I can have a scenario where I have Mbappe, Hazard, and Werner. That I think is a long-term dream. I think if he's able to do that and provide that, then that would be huge. That'd be huge. Let me just hit the super chat here, man. So shout out to the Football Hot member, then Erhan Axel. Thank you for your £2 super chats. Should Vardy come out of retirement for the Euros? If I'm Vardy, no. And the reason for that is he works for what Leicester City are doing and the football that they are playing. And my thing about it is that, okay, let's say Vardy comes out of retirement and Harry Kane is fit by the time the Euros come. Is Vardy going to be, is he even going to play? I think he knows that it's done, and I think for Vardy, because remember, you now doing internationals and clubs, it's risks to your club career. Vardy, wait, how old is Jamie Vardy now? Even man, let me even see Jamie Vardy age. He's 33 years old. So 33 years old, you have to be, you have to watch your body and be very careful with regards to your body and so forth. So now I don't think he should. And I mean, look, the guy's amazing, but see, this is the mistake that people make. They're like, oh my god, look how amazing he's top scorer in the Premier League. My gosh, he should come and help England. He works for the system that Rodgers has and the players that are around him. England is a totally different system with totally different players, and the way that England play will not play to Vardy's strengths. Leicester City play to Vardy's strengths, and there are players there that help to really play towards his strength. Because, for instance, in England, is Southgate going to put Madison in the team? Last I checked, Ndidi is Nigerian. So and these are all very key players who help to make Jamie Vardy very effective for the system that Leicester City play. So that's just my my thing in there, man. So with regards to Vardy and so forth, man. Yeah. No, sorry, it's also to Werner. He's leaving Leipzig. And I don't know. I think it could. It's a toss-up. He could either end up at Real Madrid or Liverpool. He could either end up at Real Madrid or Liverpool. It could be either of those, man. It could be either of those, bro. All right. I think we're almost done, and then we can get to questions. So Giroud to Inter Milan. Now, I don't really understand this, and maybe I need you guys to try and help me understand this right now. So Giroud, I understand why he wants to leave Chelsea. Makes full sense. It makes 100% sense. Of course, it makes sense why he wants to leave Chelsea. 100%. Like, you're not playing, and in this year of the Euros, you have to play. So it makes full sense. It makes full sense, man. But if you're going to Inter Milan, you're not getting picked ahead of. You're not going to be getting picked ahead of Lautaro Martinez. You're not going to be getting picked ahead of Romelu Lukaku. So you're trading one bench for another bench. Surely, shouldn't you be trying to look for first in football? Like, I'm just saying, shouldn't your aim be like, no, I want to look for first in football. I need first in football. Where is that first in football? I want first in football. Boom, 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 boom. That's what I need. That's what I want. But you're not going to be getting first in football at Inter Milan. So my thinking is of why he may have chosen Inter Milan is, okay, they wanted him. They came out, they wanted him. It's a team going for a title, so he can help them win a trophy. And also, he is a plan B. And there is more chance of him getting more game time at Inter Milan than at Chelsea. So those are the things. So there's more time of him getting game plan for Inter Milan than at Chelsea. So in that sense, maybe it works. But I just think, beyond that, it's weird though, because it's like, you're not going to play now those many games. Okay, you play more games than you will at Chelsea, but shouldn't you be looking for a team that can guarantee you first in football? So say Giroud at AC Milan would be good, but they have Ibrahimovic. Where would Giroud fit in? Like, if AC Milan did not buy Ibrahimovic, Giroud would have been a pretty interesting option if Milan had sold Piatek. I'm like, you know what? Yeah, that is maybe an interesting thing. So, but that is weird though. Why you would go to Inter Milan when you're not going to be guaranteed thingy? But from Inter's point of view, it's a great move. From Inter Milan's point of view, it is a superb move. I mean, I'll probably upload it because I actually did a video on it. So I'm probably going to upload the video on it later on. From Inter's point of view, it's a great move because it's a great plan B to have. It's a great plan B to have because what you have is, all right, let's say Lukaku and Lautaro Martinez are not working. We can go to Giroud. Switch out how we play. Lukaku isn't playing well. All right, Lukaku come off, bring in Giroud, and Giroud can now play with Lautaro Martinez. So it is a great strategic purchase from your boy Antonio Conte. And if they can get him, and they can get Eriksen, Inter are looking very good squad wise. They're looking very, very good squad wise, and it would just make, and it was going to make for a very good Serie A title race, which I still think Juve will win. So, final topic here before we do questions. So Tammy versus Rashford. So the football battle is up. So football battles are going to be dropping every Thursday. Every Thursday they'll be dropping. I have filmed the Benzema. Sorry, I have filmed the Benzema Lewandowski football battle, which the Football Hot members will get an early look on. So I'll probably drop it for the Football Hot members later tonight, and you guys will get it next Thursday on the YouTube channel. But so see, the Tammy Rashford one, I was fair here. I still see, for me, I say Tammy is still the better footballer. Just in terms of football, I still say he's the better footballer. But as people have pointed out, this is Tammy's first season in the Premier League. I think this is Rashford's third or so season in the Premier League. But I'll be fair with Rashford. Before the season, I thought the guy was overhyped. I thought he was overhyped. And I thought that, decent player, not world class, and isn't anywhere near with regards to the best young players. And people putting him in the same category as Mbappe are saying, no, shut up. But he has impressed me this season. He has impressed me this season, man. So we say you gave Rashford the aerial ability and Tammy the balance and control. Flip that around. No, you see, aerial ability, it was a toss-up between Rashford and Tammy. But I would still say Rashford is probably a bit better in the air, just ahead. Tammy is better, has better balance. Rashford's balance isn't good. The amount of times that Rashford has carried the ball and lost the ball and has been too quick or has overrun the ball is too many times. So balance of the ball, I think Tammy gets that. Ball control is the Tammy. Because again, that is why he's so good in that Lampard system. Because the amount of times that he can receive the ball back to front, flip away, flip the ball to another player is quality. So just ball control, balance, all that kind of stuff, I'm giving it to Tammy. I'm giving it to Tammy because that's why he can play that striker's role so well. See, basically, put it this way: if you flip them around and you made Rashford the striker in Lampard's system at Chelsea, he'd be ineffective. He'd be ineffective, and a lot of those counters and those transitional plays would break down whenever the ball was received to Rashford. Hence why Rashford is working better as an inside forward because he's much more direct and much more incisive of a player, man. So that's the thing, man. So no. I said, look, it is a toss-up with regards to who's better in there. Like, you could argue it is Tammy, but I will still say Rashford. I will still say Rashford. But overall, look, I was being fair. Like, some clans said, oh, sellout. So because I'm a complicated Chelsea fan, I should always make a Chelsea player win, moron. And I'm talking to you, brick moron. This is a football fan channel. No, this is a football and analysis channel, you piece of crap. Which means that it is my job here to be objective. It is my job here to be objective. But put it this way, let me round it off with this. We don't know what Tammy Abraham's potential is. He's just starting out. Rashford has impressed me this season. He has impressed me. And he has some really good skills and some really good abilities. He's not looking at Mbappe or the Us or Leroy Sané. Basically, Leroy Sané, the Us, Mbappe, Sancho, they're on another level. See, those guys are the future. Those guys are the future. I think Mbappe is a level. Rashford is a level below those dudes. And I kind of put Rashford with regards to, okay, he's part of the new wave, but I have been impressed with what he's done. So that's all I'll say. So it's time now for your questions, man. So guys, send your questions away, man. Send your questions, man. 15 minutes left. 15 minutes, last 15 minutes. Send in those questions. Football questions, please, man. No odd, weird questions, man. Send in those questions. Is Hazard still better than Cristiano Ronaldo? Yes, he is. Yes, he is. And let me repeat myself, because I keep on having to say this. Cristiano Ronaldo is a better goal scorer than Eden Hazard. Eden Hazard is a better football player than Cristiano. Hazard has better ball control, better dribbling, better technique. He has better balance on the ball. He can pass the ball better, has better creativity, has better playmaking. He is the better football player than Cristiano. Cristiano is just the better goal scorer. All right. Let's see. Okay, off topic. What happened to Götze's final year of contract at Dortmund? 27 years of age. People don't talk about him no more. Can he save his career? Like, what tier do you even have him? No, Mario Götze is a sad case. Because I remember when he scored that stunning World Cup winning goal in 2014, I said that this is going to be Germany's first superstar player. This is going to be the first Ballon d'Or winner from Germany. This is going to be the first time that Germany have a truly superstar talented player. In hindsight, I'm sure Mario Götze will accept this. Moving to Bayern was a bad move. Now, obviously, at the time, it made sense. Pep Guardiola, most exciting manager in the world at the time, the most sought-after manager in the time. Every single player wanted to play under Pep Guardiola. So I understand why he wanted to make that move. But in hindsight, he should have stayed at Dortmund with Klopp. Because if he had stayed at Dortmund with Klopp, continued to develop, he would have... I don't think he would have won the Ballon d'Or, but his career would have done better, because I feel that Dortmund kept on losing players. So there'd have been so much pressure on Mario Götze to really carry that ship by himself. But I just felt that Mario Götze's playing style works very well for the Dortmund team and what Klopp wanted, personally, So that's how you roll there, man. But I mean, can he get back to his career now? I think he's done, man. He's finished. Can you talk about the strong rumor linking Kai Havertz to Liverpool? You see, this is my thing here, man. Is that this whole thing with Kai Havertz, man. And let me even see what guys are saying about Kai Havertz. How good is this dude, man? Every time people have been preaching about this dude, and I've seen this dude, he's not been that great, man. So we signed Kai Havertz for Liverpool in the summer of 2020, and this is what happened. Liverpool to break club record for Kai Havertz. Okay, here's my thing about this Kai Havertz thing. That from what I've seen, not impressed. Not impressed. But if Jurgen Klopp is willing to break the transfer record for a player, that player must be something. And maybe it's a case of, like, if he comes to him, that is when he will truly be able to fulfill his potential. Who was Lewandowski before Klopp? Who was Götze before Klopp? Who was Hummels before Klopp? Who was Kagawa before Klopp? How good was El Dio really before Klopp? How good was Salah really before Klopp? How good was Firmino before Klopp? So Klopp has literally taken players that were either nobodies or pretty good and made them world class. So if he has said, all right, I am willing to break the transfer record on this dude, then maybe he is really a big deal. Maybe he really is a big deal. So, yeah, I mean, then that's have something to be excited about. But from my point of view, I haven't seen nothing from Kai Havertz to excite me, personally, man. Actually, what do Arsenal have to do to be big again, man? I think for Arsenal, they have to ride this one out. They really need to ride this one out. Because maybe I need to do like a long video on this, because do you know what? This goes all the way back to Patrick Vieira. It goes all the way back to Patrick Vieira. Letting Patrick Vieira go was the beginning of the end of Arsenal's domination and of them being relevant. That was a horrible move. An absolutely horrible move. But I just think, as of right now, for what Arsenal have to do, they need to build the team from scratch, all the way from scratch. I think to start with, they need a really good midfielder. They need a really good midfielder. They need to improve the defense, improve the midfield. I think the midfield and defense needs a total revamp. If it's me, I think Ozil is surplus to requirements. And if there is a way that Arsenal can, I don't even know how they can do this, because nobody even wants Ozil. Because you have this guy on your books who is overpaid and so forth, and you can't even get rid of this guy because this guy still wants the contract. But if there's a way that they can sell Ozil, get that money, and just rebuild the midfield, rebuild the defense, and they can hold on to Aubameyang, that is paramount. If they can hold on to Aubameyang and bolster the midfield and defense, then I think Arsenal can definitely be going in a very strong direction, because there's still a good team there, but a lot of players need to go. I think Xhaka needs to go. Ozil needs to go. David Luiz was a bad buy. Mustafi was a bad buy. So there needs to be like 5, 6, 7 players that needs to just be brought in, and just a whole new psychology needs to be built. A whole new psychology, a whole new piece of chemistry needs to be rebuilt from the ground up. And that's just what they need to start to try and do, man. HHU said Isco is not a good fit for Chelsea because of the system. What about Coutinho, who played in a similar system under Klopp? Now, as you see, Coutinho would actually work for Chelsea and for Lampard. The only issue is I don't rate Coutinho highly. That's just the key thing. Just Coutinho as a player and as a superstar player, I just don't rate him highly. But in terms of the speed with which Lampard wants to play and the system, Coutinho would be a far better fit. So if you put Coutinho in the Mason Mount system, those counterattacks on those breakaways, Coutinho would be money. The way that he'd be able to carry the ball at that speed, offload the ball, and look how many times has Mason Mount had those opportunities where he's out of the box and he's taking shots. Imagine if you gave all those opportunities to Coutinho, bruh, he will be, because that's why he's called Coutinho. That's why he's called Coutinho. So really, Coutinho, I just don't know how that would be engineered, because Coutinho is now focused on Bayern Munich and so forth. But if Chelsea were to bring in a Coutinho, that would be a money move. That would be a flipping money move, man. Wait, what else are you guys saying, man? Right. Should top African players protest CAF moving AFCON back to the winter next year? It's really ridiculous. Now, let's break this down. Now, when I initially heard this news, I was like, this is dumb. This is stupid. This makes no sense. You can't stage a tournament in the middle of a club season. You can't. And here's me. I'm an international merchant. And for me, AFCON is one of my most loved football competitions, 100%. So don't get it twisted. But you cannot stage a international tournament in the middle of a flipping season. You can't. That's stupid. I'm sorry, that's just stupid. You can't do it. But I read more into it. They met with meteorologists and weather experts, and they said that if this is held in Cameroon in the summer, the weather will just be unfavorable. Because remember, like, what people have to understand is African weather is very different from weather in pretty much every other continent, So you have to think about rainy season, or think about when the weather gets extremely hot. And also remember, like, the weather in Egypt is very different from than the weather you will get in West Africa or East Africa and so forth. So even if for me, I think that it's crazy to hold it in January, right in the middle of the season, you have to look at the weather. You know, I mean, it's a difficult one because for me, I'm one of those guys of like, how hard have you really tried to make this thing happen in the summer? That's my thing. How hard have you really tried? Because this really, really is can mess things up for a club. For Liverpool, that's a disaster. Liverpool, that is a disaster because you're losing Naby Keita, Mane, and Salah in January, bro. Like that's like, you know, these are your key players. Maybe that's why Klopp is taking ahead. I'm like, bro, if this whole thing happens, let me just have replacements upon replacements upon replacements happening. But yeah, but if it's a weather thing, man, then it is what it is, man. All right, last 5 minutes here, man. Let me pick a good question, man. A good question. Someone send me a good question, man. Oh, let me give you a good question, man. Isco's not going to Chelsea. Is Ashley Young a good fit for Conte's Inter Milan? Yes, he is. Because as much as I insult Ashley Young, as much as I call him a brick, as much as I call him useless and so forth, one thing I say about Ashley Young is this, is that he is defensively good and he's very robust. And I think people have said that whenever United have played Liverpool, he is very difficult to get past. He's very, very difficult to get past. So keep that in mind. And remember, Inter Milan are not an attacking team. They are a pragmatic team. So them being a pragmatic team, focusing much more on being defensively strong, I think in Ashley Young would work perfectly for them. Ashley Young will work perfectly for them. So yeah, Ashley Young, perfect. He's perfect for that system and what they want. Because again, see, for Man United, you're an attacking team. So where does Klopp rank all time as a manager? Can't say that yet. We have to just see what he does overall. We have to just see what he does overall. But I think he's getting up there. He's getting up there. But look, he's still adding to his legacy. But Ancelotti won 3 Champions Leagues. Mourinho has won 2 Champions Leagues. Pep has won 2 Champions Leagues. Fergie has won 2 Champions Leagues. Heinkes has won 2 Champions Leagues, one of which was a treble. Fergie won a treble. Pep won a treble. Heinkes won a treble. So there are guys who have really done some stuff. Ferguson pretty much dominated the Premier League for 2 decades. So, there is definitely still a lot of stuff for him to do before he's really that dude, man. Ashley Young. Okay, why is is Bielsa the best? Is Bielsa the best manager in the world in a tactical room, just not at management? No, he's definitely one of the best tactical minds out there, for sure. One of the best tactical minds out there. I wouldn't just call him the best. I'm not calling him the best. I think there are definitely other guys that are also just as good as him, man. All right, I'll probably end with this. If Chelsea lose at home, do they stand a chance at the Allianz? It depends what the score is. It depends what the score is. If Chelsea get lubricated, it's all over. If they get lubricated or they get circumcised, then I'll hold my hands up and say like, look, it's all finito. If Chelsea lose 2-1, if they lose 2-1, it's not over. Obviously, it's not ideal, but we know that Chelsea not great at Stamford Bridge, but also Bayern Munich have not been that great at the Allianz. So if they lose 2-1, I think Chelsea can't go to the Allianz and win 2-0. So I just think that it's all depends on what the scoreline is. But I think ideally, what Chelsea would want is win that home game. But remember, see, whenever you're doing things over two legs, I remember if let's say Chelsea were playing against like a PSG, okay, maybe you wanna park the pants can be a bit tricky. Or you're playing Liverpool, Anfield is a fortress. Or you're playing against Napoli, that place is a fortress. But Allianz Arena is not Allianz Arena. We see Allianz Arena back in 2013. Okay, that's a fortress now. In 2020, it's not really a fortress. So it's dependent on what the result is. It's dependent on what the result is. Guys, it's been swell. It's been good, man. Remember, click the join button below to become a Football House member and get access to extra content. And yeah, man, I will see you guys tomorrow for the Friday night Q&A, man. Peace out, stay true. Remember to hit that like button. I'm out. Peace.